The question comes up, why does it feel like entrepreneurs will plateau at some point in the growth of their organization? I see this over and over. Someone will start a company, they'll grow it to a point, and then they will stall out, or sometimes they'll even slip back. So there's a variety of reasons why this happens, but I think there are really three that people need to think about and be aware of. Number one, if we fail to address the need to create scalable infrastructure, we will stall out. And scalable infrastructure is many things. It's systems and processes and documentation, yes. But importantly, it is about communication. It's about communicating the right facts, the right pieces of information, the right pieces of data in the right cadence. When I survey companies, survey teams, when I start to work with them, I always ask a question like, what's the number one thing that needs to change in your organization? Or what's the biggest issue you're facing today? Or some version thereof. And 90% of the time, the answers to that question revolve around something to do with communication. Another big reason, a second reason that organizations and entrepreneurs plateau is that they fail to address the need to grow their leadership. Leaders may be adequate and capable to the task today, but in a growing organization, the same person in the same seat may not be capable 3 years from now. And without a dedicated focus to help those people grow, develop their talents and abilities, sometimes an organization will stall out. A third reason organizations stall out is when they grow, they will inevitably face increasing marketplace pressure, competitive pressure. It's like David versus Goliath. Eventually, everyone's picking on Goliath. When you're David, no one's paying attention to you. But as you start to grow, eventually everyone wants to take you out. In order to get there, you've got to understand your marketplace, and you have to anticipate the changing dynamics of how to market your products and services to keep you from hitting the marketplace ceiling. It's an observable phenomenon that entrepreneurs and small and mid-sized organizations often plateau at various stages of their growth. It's good to answer the question, what's it take to break through those glass ceilings? How do you crest through the plateau and continue to grow? There are many answers to the question, but a dedicated focus on, I'm going to say 4 areas enable organizations to move to the next stage. Number one, they have to be focused on the answers to the question, are the people in your organization, are all of your stakeholders, employees, vendors, and so on, are they all in the right seats doing the right things the right way? And here's the key. Would you enthusiastically rehire each of them? That's so hard to say yes to. And without a dedicated focus on the people in your organization, it is so hard to break through. The second way to break through a plateau is to really get serious about the answer to the question, can you answer or can you state your strategy simply? And is your strategy driving consistent growth in your top line and gross margin? Most small to mid-sized entrepreneurs and organizations really struggle to state their strategy simply. One reason is the word strategy is abstract. No one knows exactly what it is. Most people think of the strategy as being the plan. But in fact, the plan is how you execute your strategy. You've got to get clear on your strategy. The third area you've got to focus on is a good system for executing on your strategic objectives. You've got to have a way of saying, what are our priorities? And once we've answered the question, how will we execute them in detail? It's so important to get your systems and processes nailed down so that you can effectively execute day to day. Finally, the fourth area is you have to address how you're going to fund or finance your growth. Instead of just going out and borrowing money or selling equity or shares in your organization, it's ideal that you can be able to fund your growth internally. To do that, though, requires absolute focus on your entire leadership and management and frontline teams on the language of business. We call it financial literacy, but it's really understanding how a business, your business, creates value and makes money. Without those resources, it's impossible to execute well on any of the other three areas and break through the plateau.